Welcome to the shift. We are finally here. It is the 2023 World Series. It starts tomorrow. Game 1, 8 o'clock. Zach Gallen, Nathan Eovaldi on the hill. Arizona Diamondbacks. Who would have? I don't. If you would have thought, as anybody at the beginning of this season, Nick Earnshaw, that it was going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks and Texas Rangers in the Fall Classic, I would have, I don't know. There's a lot of things I would have done, but I would have thought you were crazy. But here we are, Nick. Arizona Diamondbacks and Texas Rangers. What are your initial thoughts when
we're here?
I know your thoughts are gonna be a little skewed here because you're a Phillies fan, but what are your thoughts heading into this matchup?
Great.
When you knew this matchup was gonna be a matchup, how do you feel? I get partial.
It's okay. It's a fine matchup. You asked me before the show to have one reason this is good for baseball. New teams in the World Series. How about that?
Yeah, we don't have the Dodgers and Astros.
No Dodgers, no Astros. The Braves aren't in it. Like, all right, that's positive. I'm sick to my stomach having to do this show right now. I don't know how you're so enthusiastic about this. I can't be. I can't.
Well,
I can't.
Do you want to know the story?
I'm not putting it aside. No, I'm not putting it aside. I don't know how the Phillies lost that series. I really don't.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It would have been so much better for baseball. Rangers, Phillies. It would have been so much better for baseball. But, new teams. They have new teams. That's great. Teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, fine. The young team. I'm always talking about young teams. I didn't think the Diamondbacks would get there. I didn't think so. I didn't think it would happen. 84 wins. Third wild card, 2 years in a row in the National League.
You probably could blame this on me, because the reason why the Phillies lost. I didn't tell you this story. I've told other people the story.
Great. Put me down in the dumps even more, Fran.
Listen, game 1 of the NLCS, day of.
Yeah.
I had to go grocery shopping. I worked an overnight prior. I was a little bit tired. It kind of throws you off a little bit. You know me. I like to have my throwback baseball jerseys. I wear my Wade Boggs Devil Rays jersey today. But that day, I was like, Nick, I was like, man, I would like to wear a throwback baseball jersey today. And I went in my closet, and Randy Johnson's one of the best pitchers of all time. He's one of my favorites. I grabbed the jersey. I put it on. I said, yeah, Randy Johnson. I got in the car, and then I just must have not looked at the logo. And I said, oh, wait, this is a Diamondbacks jersey. What am I doing with my life right now? They did win that night, though. The Phillies did win that night. Maybe there was a mistake along the way. Maybe I should have worn the jersey for games 3 and 4 as well. And maybe the Phillies would have won. But they didn't. I've caught a lot of flack for this. I've gotten flack from John Johnson, from WIP. I've gotten flack from some of my other friends. I haven't told you this story, but I figured I'd tell you this story just for the heck of it. I thought it's funny. It's a funny story. It's a funny story. Randy Johnson, one of the best pitchers of all time. I don't worry about the logo, Nick. I worry about the player when it comes to the jerseys I'm wearing, except for whether it's like Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and I'm repping my favorite teams. A little different. When I rep my throwback baseball jerseys, I'm repping them for the player. My Red Sox Pedro jersey, I'm repping Pedro. I'm not repping the Red Sox. When I'm repping my Wade Boggs, I don't care about the Devil Rays. We beat them in the World Series 13, 14 years ago, whatever. I don't care about the team. I care about the player when it comes to my throwback jerseys. I just want to put that out there. This is impromptu. No one cares about this, but I'm letting you know. Because I know you're going to try to take this and run with it. The Griffey and the Cooperstown thing, I got killed for that too. Not just by you, but from other people. Screw all of you. I do what I want. I'm not the reason the Phillies lost. I'm not the reason. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
All right. You're done.
I'm done.
Are you done? Well, I have the floor.
Go ahead.
I can't.
The floor is yours.
I'm not even. I can't believe you should have just kept that to yourself, to be honest.
Right. I don't keep things to myself.
I don't even have words. I'm just disappointed because this is a reoccurring theme with you. Same thing happened in Cooperstown. Same thing.
Right. I'd
say
yeah.
You're saying go Phils in another jersey. It's just
it's
funny. Not right.
It's funny.
It's not. No, it's not right.
To you.
It needs to be fixed.
You and Pete Interado, who was our great guest at Cooperstown. You have bad humor. That's all. Everyone else laughed with me. They're like, go Phils. Like, yeah.
No, they were confused. They were not laughing with you. They were laughing at you. It was not. You're mistaking the two. That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all.
They were smiling, and they said, that guy's a true fan. He has the guts to say, go Phils.
Oh, yeah, they said he's a true fan. He's a true fan wearing another jersey. It's just, it's sad. It's honestly sad. I wish I could help you.
The balls. None of you have the balls to do it.
I wish I could help you. I'm just disappointed. The first and foremost, the fact you wore it during game, I don't care if they won or not.
I didn't wear a Brandon Pfaadt jersey, okay? We're a Randy Johnson.
You had a diamond
20 years ago.
Your favorite team is playing the Diamondbacks to go to the World Series, and you wear a Diamondbacks jersey. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's all I gotta say. It's a concerning. It's a concerning list of events that keep on happening. It's just concerning.
It was only 2
events. Hopefully we can fix this. Well, it's too many. I mean, be real. It's too many. Too many. I mean, it's just getting concerning at this point. Maybe we'll get it fixed at some point down the line. But, that's all I got to say. I'm disappointed. I have a lot going through my head right now of what I could say. I'm not. We're going to do the show. We're going to do this show that I'm being forced to do against my will because being in that, listen, I was at Game 7. It was one of the saddest moments I've ever experienced at a sporting event. So that's all I got to say. On to the Diamondbacks and Rangers. This new teams. New teams. That's why it's good for baseball.
So let me get this straight. You're going to go with your one reason this matchup is good for baseball is honestly because of 2 new teams, or do you have another one?
Yep. No, I don't have another one. That is why. That's it. I have it written down.
It is a good reason.
I have it written down right here. It's at the top of the list. New teams, because I can't find one, Francisco, other than that. Okay.
Oh, come on,
I don't have one other than that.
Storylines, and we're gonna go through the storylines. I can't wait. I'm glad you feel this way. Let me take my jacket off.
I am a hurt Phillies fan. I am a hurt Phillies fan.
So am I.
I don't even know if I'm gonna. No, I'm a hurt Phillies fan. You're not as hurt as I am. You weren't there. I
know.
You wear Diamondbacks jerseys on the street. It's unbelievable. Okay.
On the street. Hey, to be fair, I covered it up with my windbreaker.
Thank God. Okay? Thank goodness. Yeah. Thank goodness. Continue. Continue, host. So we gotta host the show here.
Yes, we do. So I'm gonna give you my one reason this matchup is good for baseball, and I actually think it's a good reason. I think it's valid. For a while, Nick, there was actually a couple of weeks span there at the end of the regular season where I was kind of getting annoyed with the third wild card spot. I thought it was getting too diluted. I thought the trade deadline this year was maybe a little affected by it. But you know what? I think if an 84-win team that gets the third wild card spot wins the World Series, I think that's phenomenal for baseball. I think it's fantastic. I think this being also the back-to-back years that the National League team gets the third wild card spot and gets to the World Series. I think this is great. I think that if there's a step forward this year where the D-backs win the World Series, I think that the teams are like, oh, we're trying to get that third wild card spot. There was some uncertainty this year with what teams wanted to do. That's why we had kind of a crappy trade deadline. I truly believe that was a part of it. But I think if the D-backs are able to win this year, I think the fact that back-to-back years that National League teams get there with the third wild card spot, I think if you could take it even a step further, the Diamondbacks win. I think it takes it gives some further intrigue going forward for years to come because this wild card spot isn't going away anytime soon. I think it's good for baseball, and I think the fact that the Diamondbacks were able to get in and able to get all the way there, I think it's good for baseball. And by the way, an 83 win team won the World Series back in 2006. So it wouldn't that was the St. Louis Cardinals. That wouldn't be the least amount of wins. And I haven't checked if that was the least amount of wins ever for a team to win the World Series. But regardless, I do think it'd be good for baseball if the Diamondbacks won. So I think that's an intriguing storyline. And I think there are a bunch of other intriguing storylines that we're going to get into that you don't think there are. If I have to lay them all out, I might have to. But that's why this matchup's good for baseball. 84-win team wins it all. Last wild card spot. It's good for baseball. Yes.
Okay. It's fair. It's fair.
Oh, thank you.
So I want to go back to, having low win teams. So according to the Washington Post, these two teams, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, the lowest regular season win total combined, excluding shortened seasons between two World Series teams. The Angels and Giants, and Royals and Giants, in 2002 and 2014, those two were both wild card teams. So this is the first time since 2014 two wild card teams have been in the World Series. So that's pretty interesting stuff right there.
It's exciting. It's exciting. It's a good. Yeah,
we're
gonna get into it. I think
lowest combined win total. That's exciting.
So by the way, who had the third wild card spot in American League? Not the Rangers. Who was it?
It was not Tampa Bay.
It wasn't Tampa Bay. No, it wasn't. Who the hell was it?
I
don't want to look it up. I want to find. Who got destroyed?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Minnesota. No, Minnesota won the division.
Cleveland, right? Was it Cleveland? It was Cleveland.
No, Cleveland didn't get in.
Cleveland played the Twins.
They didn't.
In the wild card.
They didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they actually didn't. The Cleveland Guardians did not make the playoffs. I have to look it up now. I'm going to forget.
Now go look it up. It
was Toronto. Sure it was Toronto.
Oh,
it was Toronto, dummy.
You are right.
Yeah, they played. Right. Yeah, because
why did I keep thinking Cleveland? Yeah, it was Toronto.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you dummy.
Right.
That was mean. I called you disrespectful.
Why did I say Cleveland? I was probably thinking of last year.
Well, because Cleveland always makes it.
Yeah, that's probably why. No, it's Toronto. You're right. Damn,
Toronto.
I forgot Toronto made it. Wow.
Yeah, because they got they had the whole Barrios thing.
I totally forgot. Vladdy got picked off at second base.
Yeah.
Wow. I totally forgot about that.
By the way, I ain't gonna lie. The championship series were good, but the playoffs have kind of sucked. I think that's why you kind of forget about it too.
Yeah, I mean it just feels like months ago that happened, doesn't it? Like it feels like so long ago.
Yeah,
we couldn't remember
the
extra
wild card run now.
Yeah, huh? So I mean we couldn't remember off the top of our heads. We're like, wait, who was the third wild card? Couldn't even remember.
Yeah.
Couldn't even remember. We know it was in the National League because they go to the World Series every year. Whoever gets in that spot. So,
right. There you go. So, thank you for agreeing with my concrete case there.
I was like, I was stone cold. It's Cleveland. You're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, you were so. I'm like, no, it's not. Dude. I want to remember. Hey, it's like Cleveland crapped the bed last 2 months.
I kept envisioning their ballpark for some reason. I don't know why.
They have a nice
don't
ballpark.
know why. They do. And I feel like I remember it from last year. That's probably why I'm getting it confused.
Yep. Well, you're wrong.
Yeah.
So,
yep. I know. For once. About time.
Yeah, for like 1,000th time. Yeah. Yeah. Keep laughing over there. You keep laughing.
All right, let's go
to L takes. Anyway. Meat and potatoes. I ain't gonna lie, I'm hungry. So after this, I am gonna eat something. I'm ready for
me
meat,
too.
Ready for
me freaking too.
I might get a hoagie. I don't know what I'm gonna get. Thinking about it.
I think I got chicken
or something. Chicken sounds good.
I got chicken and mac and cheese. I think that's what I got tonight.
Ooh, sounds incredible.
Homemade mac and cheese, not crap, not the one you heat up. Homemade.
Nice. Homemade mac and cheese is great.
It is. Yeah. It's always phenomenal. Always phenomenal.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, is mom making it or are you making it?
Mom did make it. Mom made
nice. Is it breaded? Is it breaded on top or no?
Yeah. You got a little bit on top. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It's good
nice.
stuff.
Enjoy it.
I will. I can't wait.
Yeah. You gonna have any green beans to go with it? Any spinach?
I don't know. I'll probably find a side in there somewhere in the fridge. We got pea, maybe some peas. I love peas. Big pea guy. Big pea guy.
Are you? All right. Enough of that. Enough of food. As Nick just makes it interesting. Let's get to ours. Give me so Nick, I'm gonna pretend that you're a Rangers beat writer, and I want you to give me two of the most intriguing storylines that you can think of from the Texas Rangers point of view, and why baseball fans and maybe even the casual baseball fans should be excited from that point of view. So give me two intriguing storylines.
Yeah. So for one, I got to start with Bruce Bochy, man. He could join Tony La Russa, Sparky Anderson as one of the only 3 managers to win a World Series in both leagues. I think that's pretty freaking cool. He just wins big games. We know how much success he had with the Giants, winning all those World Series every other year. It felt like comes out of retirement a couple years ago, and he's back. And he's back in the World Series. Beats Dusty Baker in Game 7, and I think this series could go very deep, and we'll get into that later. I trust Bruce Bochy in those games, man. I mean, he just seems to win. He presses all the right buttons. He's never lost a Game 7. So, I mean, for me, one of the bigger storylines is Bruce Bochy being in another World Series, another new team in a different league, and could join some elite company, in managerial company by winning another World Series, be his 4th one, if I'm not mistaken, and to do it in both leagues. That doesn't happen. That's pretty elite. When it comes to managers. And so I think that's a huge storyline to watch, especially, he's getting up there in age now. He's been around the block for a minute, and he had to come out of retirement to do this. Yeah. So Bruce Bochy, I think that's a storyline, definitely for sure, of the overarching series and overarching season for the Texas Rangers. Some injury news I'm watching. That's a storyline as well, because I kind of have a third storyline, but I want to get into the matchups. Mitch Garver, we know he got hit in the ribs, and he's been battling injury. We don't know if he's going to play. It seems like he's going to play in this series. Game 1, maybe not, but I think that's an X factor for the Rangers if he's not in. I think he's had a really good couple of games in the postseason. I think he's going to play majority of the series. The ribs, I think everything came back negative. That's something to watch if you're the Rangers heading into this series for sure.
Okay, I like those. I also think there's some more too, but I like both those storylines. Mitch Garver a couple of years ago, man, 93 games for the Minnesota Twins at 31 home runs.
Yep.
Part of those 2019 Twins that I think set the record for home runs in a season.
He's an important piece, man. Insane. He's an important piece.
Definitely.
Important piece of this lineup.
Yeah, big lineup. Big lineup with a lot of offensive weapons there, man. It's pretty scary. Garver just one of them. All right, so I'll give you mine from the Arizona point of view. I know you wanted to steal this one, but I get to do Arizona because I said so. I don't make the rules. I just went with intuition. I looked up at the sky and I said, "Oh, I'm going to do the Arizona storylines." Okay, with my Randy Johnson jersey on. As I look towards the sky.
Oh God.
So number one for me, I think it's pretty easy. One thing that baseball is trying to, as they're trying to, it seems like year in and year out, try to take, I guess, baby steps of getting back into mainstream, sports and, being the center stage for the most part, which they haven't been in a while, is push their younger players. And I think that it's an obvious one. Corbin Carroll, he's going to win Rookie of the Year this year. He had an incredible season, 25 home runs, 50 plus stolen bases. Didn't have a great NLCS, had a bit of a rough start, but he ended the NLCS well. And when they needed him to show up, he showed up. Wild card series, NLDS, he was very good. I think it's, Corbin Carroll potentially, could rebound from his, kind of bad NLCS and have a really good World Series and, kind of cement himself, maybe do what Jeremy Pena did last year. Pena won, championship series MVP and World Series MVP. Corbin Carroll wouldn't do that. But if he has a big series, could kind of show the baseball world, what's up, that he's one of the, the best bright young players in the sport that they have to offer. I just think Corbin Carroll is an easy one. He's probably the number one storyline, maybe not number one, but one of the bigger ones for the D-backs in this series, especially if you're a baseball fan, especially if you're a casual baseball fan, you might not know who he is. I think Corbin Carroll's a big guy to watch in this series. He's really fun to watch. He's fast. He can hit for power. He can hit for average, on base, all that stuff. He's 5-tool player. He can play the field incredible. The D-backs have I think they have the best defensive team in baseball. That's another thing we haven't even talked about. I mentioned that could be its own thing. But Corbin Carroll just easily Nick Earnshaw. I know you probably want to say some stuff on Corbin Carroll, so I'll let you go here. But Corbin Carroll easily, one of the biggest storylines here for the D-backs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's all joking aside. He's a rookie of the year. He at the top of the lineup, whether he's one or two, he's a threat on the base pass. When he's able to get going, they're able to steal him over, and it's crazy because the Diamondbacks didn't really do that in the NLCS in the beginning. Towards the end of the series, that's when he started heating up a little bit. When he got on first, they started stealing a little bit more. It was kind of shocking they got away from that, but he's kind of a game changer, and when you can get him in the scoring position, that's when the Diamondbacks start winning because they're able to manufacture all these runs, right? Playing a little small ball here and there and moving guys over and getting Corbin Carroll on to start a game, start an inning. He's been dynamic. He can do it all. And it's a great opportunity for Corbin Carroll to really kind of cement himself in the league, right? I mean, if the league wants to promote its young players and kind of get back into the spotlight, right? Corbin Carroll is the guy to do it. I mean, he's a guy. He's like rough and tough. It feels like a little bit, right? And they can kind of promote that. So I think Corbin Carroll could have a really big series, win or lose. This is an opportunity for Major League Baseball to kind of like promote these guys who are younger and going to be in the league for a long time and be successful in the league for a long time. So I expect him to have a really good series and make an impact immediately. Because I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to get away from the run game like they did at the beginning of the NLCS.
Yeah, for sure. So my second one, I think, is kind of it's pretty intriguing. You don't really know what you're going to get from this D-backs team, and we're kind of familiar with that as Phillies fans. As that series went on, you don't know what you're going to get from this D-backs team, right? As far as how they figure out ways to win, whether it's small ball, whether it's Brandon Pfaadt coming up big, having a big game in Game 3, right? Walk off the same game. They had a walk-off hit in the ninth from Ketel Marte. Random offensive outbursts like you had against Clayton Kershaw to set the tone in Game 1 of the NLDS. I think it's really intriguing the way that the Diamondbacks are winning games, maybe getting good starts here and there from Merrill Kelly. Zach Gallen, not so great in the CS. Their bullpen coming up big in big moments with Sewald and Ginkel and Sal Frank in the back end there. Like I think it's really intriguing how we talked about Corbin Carroll stealing bases. I think it's really intriguing how they're winning games, and you don't ever really know what you're really going to get from them, but they're just finding ways to win games. Yep. And I think that's really intriguing, especially going up against, and I'm going to talk about this here in a second, but going up against, the Rangers, who are loaded talent wise. And I think that's a really intriguing thing too, is that the Rangers are loaded talent wise. Like if you're a baseball fan, you're saying, oh my God, Semien, Seager, Adolis Garcia, Scherzer, Eovaldi, Aroldis Chapman. Like there's a lot of big names there. I think I'm really intrigued. I know we're sad coming out the Phillies loss here, but I'm intrigued to see how they're going to go up against the Rangers here and how they're going to possibly continue to find ways to win games, potentially win the World Series. Like I think that's really intriguing.
Yeah, I think it is too. And I'll kind of transition here because it brings me to this point for the Diamondbacks. I'm interested to see the Rangers bullpen against this Diamondbacks lineup, right? Like that's a key matchup for me. That's a key matchup because it really feels like Bruce Bochy can only really trust one guy, right? Jose Leclerc. Like he's the one guy that they can trust. Has had a pretty good ERA throughout the year. During the postseason, it's been a little up.
Yeah, it's weird because he's like a 4.35 ERA. It's like
it's because of these walks. I know. So, but he's like the guy that they really trust. But after that, it's like Aroldis Chapman, and he's a 1.42 ERA in the postseason.
Yeah, it's weird. Baseball's so weird.
That's not at all how it should be. It's not reflective of how he's pitched. They got the other guy. Was it Spores or whatever his name is?
Yeah, Josh Spores, whatever you say his name. Sorry, excuse me, that was mean.
I'm sorry. That's a matchup I'm very curious. This is why I think the series could go deep, like 6 or 7 games, because the Diamondbacks have a good lineup. Marte's hitting, Corbin Carroll's hitting, Gurriel, like all these guys in their lineup against these bullpen pieces that the Rangers have struggled with mightily throughout the year. I mean, they've been better in the postseason. They've been better in the postseason, but that's the matchup I think is going to decide the outcome of the series. Is the Rangers bullpen? What buttons does Bruce Bochy push against this D-backs lineup? That's what I'm watching for. That's what I'm watching.
I love this because this actually transitions right into what my matchup that I'm watching for. It works both ways, right? It works both ways, but the Arizona lineup, I'm so curious because Montgomery has been nailed.
Yep.
Eovaldi has had a great playoff track record. He's been good right? On the other side, Scherzer hasn't been good since he's come back from injury. And really after that, they don't have anything. It's like Dane Dunning. It's like Andrew Haney. It's like, I guess they're the openers. I don't know what's going on with that.
I think it'll be Haney,
I'm curious. And I talked about this with one of the storylines. I'm curious to see how this Arizona lineup is going to fare against and find ways to potentially, get Eovaldi out of the game and get Montgomery out of the game to get to that bullpen. I think it's really intriguing. What's Corbin Carroll going to do? What's Ketel Marte had an unbelievable, we know all too well here that he had an unbelievable NLCS. Yeah. What's Gabriel Moreno going to do? What's Lourdes Gurriel going to do? Like, what are these guys going to do against a Rangers staff that with Eovaldi and Montgomery have been really good. Scherzer, not so good. And, save for, I guess, the rest of the rotation. You don't know what you're going to get there. I'm intrigued, man. I'm just intrigued to see Ken Montgomery, he seems like he's a big game pitcher. Eovaldi, we know his playoff track record, and we know what he's done this postseason so far. I'm really intrigued to see what the Arizona lineup's going to do. Are they going to keep playing small ball? Is it going to continue to work? Can they get some of those, Eovaldi, Montgomery, Scherzer out of the game quick and get to that bullpen? Because, if they do, man, I don't know. They really have a chance to win this series. Like, I think it's really important to see how they're going to, because if they can get those starters out of the game quick, that's a really big X factor.
Yeah. Listen, I'm glad you bring up Scherzer because the Scherzer versus Fott matchup is so intriguing to me.
Oh, it's intriguing.
There's the vet against the rookie, the struggling vet. Oh, coming off injury, got Fott has pitched well. He's made himself a name this postseason. That's a matchup I'm watching for because how is that going to shake out, right? That'll be in Arizona because Texas had the better record. So that'll be in Arizona. Scherzer on the road, Fott's at home. It's a little more comfortable for the rookies to get to pitch in his own ballpark. Game 3 is going to be fun to watch. It's going to be really fun to watch. So that seeing what you get out of Max Scherzer in Game 3, maybe later on in the series as well, you might need Max to go twice for you. So I'm very curious to see how he goes up against the rookie. I think that's an awesome storyline of the rookie versus the vet in Game 3. I think it's going to be phenomenal. Like that's something baseball can run with there. And the matchups it's going to be great because Fott's pitched so well. Max, we know, has pitched well in big games before, and he's been in so many big moments. What's he going to be like? Because he's been up and down, and he's coming off an injury. So I'm looking forward to that matchup too, between those two for sure.
See, I told you this matchup's intriguing. I told you.
You were right. You were kind of right.
I know. I know.
Baseball because we like baseball, man. Like baseball,
right? I know. Let's be real. It is hard to sell this matchup. I'm not gonna lie. It is hard to sell this matchup to casual sports fans. It is, but baseball's been a hard sport to sell to casual sports fans for the last decade. So I mean, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? One thing before we go to our predictions. When I was reading about this, I didn't even realize relief pitcher Will Smith, he has a chance to win 3 straight World Series with 3 different teams.
Yes, he was on the Braves. I did see that.
That's insane. Yeah. That's fun. I mean, no one cares about Will Smith, let's be honest, but like at the same time, like it's pretty cool.
Wait, Will Smith that's the wrong Will Smith. Sorry, wrong Will Smith. I was thinking of the guy that was at the Oscars and it's a couple.
That was a horrible joke. That was absolutely horrible. Anyway, as I tried to implant that narrative into your minds, don't listen to what Earnshaw just said. That stinger of a joke, whatever that means. Let's get to our predictions, shall we? This is where we are. We finally get to our predictions. Nick, I'm going to go first here because I'm just going to get out of the way. I don't know, man. They're going to find a way. I don't get it. Baseball doesn't make any sense. Diamondbacks in 7.
Wow.
Logic says that the Brewers are supposed to be the Diamondbacks. Logic says, even without all the starting pitchers missing, that the Dodgers should have beat the Diamondbacks. Logic says that the Phillies should have handled the Diamondbacks. Logic says the Rangers should probably win this series in 5 games. Logic hasn't had was anywhere near any of the past month for the Diamondbacks. I'm going with the D-backs, man. They just found ways to win. That's the only way I can really, like, my only supporting argument. And I know that there hasn't been much to support how the Diamondbacks have really won these series. But I think I'm just going to stick with that. Just the Diamondbacks are just finding ways to win. Look, they're a team that was just supposed to be on the rise, and they were just another Orioles from last year. But they're here. They won 84 games. I give them a little bit of credit. They got to give them some credit for getting to the World Series. And I think they're going to win. I'm just taking the Diamondbacks in 7. They're going to find ways to win. I do think a big X factor is Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen. I think they need to come up big in their starts. I do think it's going to go the distance. That's going to mean that Kelly and Gallen are going to have 2 big starts each. But Gallen had a bad NLCS, and I think he rebounds. And Merrill Kelly, I think he's kind of made for these type of starts. I think he's kind of cool, calm, and collected under the storm, even though he was kind of like okay in that first start against the Phillies. I'm gonna go with Diamondbacks in 7. Baseball doesn't make sense, man. D-backs in 7.
Doesn't make sense, and I agree with you. This series is going 7. But the Diamondbacks are not winning. The Diamondbacks are not winning this series.
Don't do this to feed.
Runs out. I'm not. I think Texas.
You're only doing this because you don't like the Diamondbacks right now.
No, I picked if Texas down right here. I wrote Texas in 7 right here. You want to see it?
I believe you.
You want to see it? Texas in 7. Texas in 7.
It's the reasoning. I want to hear the reasoning. I want to hear your reasoning.
Because I think the Rangers are just the better team. I think they're more experienced, managerially wise. They have the edge. I think their lineup's better. I think they're stronger. They're stronger at the top of the lineup with Simeon, Seager, Grossman. Garcia has been huge. I think they get big starts out of Montgomery and Evaldi. I think Scherzer does have at least one of those 2 starts he has are going to be solid, and I think he's going to lead them to victory. I just think Texas has been the better team. They've been hot the entire playoffs. They just beat the Houston Astros, their division rival, in the ALCS after losing the division to them. What did they say at the end, the Astros, when they won the division? It was the Kanye line, right? Yeah, and now Texas came back. Yeah. I forget what it was. But anyway, we said it on the last episode. But I think Texas wins this series. I think they've had a really good playoffs. I think it continues. I think the Diamondbacks, hey, they're lucky to be here, man. They've played good baseball. The Phillies fell apart towards the end. I think the Phillies really lost the NLCS more than the Diamondbacks won it. I think they just have more talent, and I think the bullpen's going to be strong enough for Texas to win this series. So I'm going to do Texas in 7. I think it's going to be very competitive. I think it's going to be really close. Texas is going to win this in 7. And they're going to. This would be their first championship, right? Because 2011 was when they choked that one away. So I think they finally get it. They built this team in 1 year. Didn't make playoffs last year. Haven't made it in a while. This is the year that the Texas Rangers win the World Series. So I'm going Texas in 7.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I can't necessarily argue again with your pick, because logic would say that the Rangers are a better team and that they should win. But again, the Diamondbacks have been the inferior team in every single series dating back to the
and it runs out. It's just going to run out. It's just going to run out. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. We'll see. You could be right. You could be right.
Runs out.
I thought it would have run out in 5 games against the Phillies. 5 games.
I thought so too.
Excuse me, against the Phillies. Yeah, it's like I said, it's hard to argue with what you're saying, but you know, baseball's weird, man, and the Diamondbacks being to this point is just crazy. You know, I think there's like honestly that I do think there's a formula for them to win. Like it's get to Eovaldi, Montgomery, and Scherzer early, get to the bullpen. Gallen, Kelly, and Fought have good starts, and they get the ball to their big guys, and Ginkel and Sal Frank and Seawald. Look, I mean, yeah, the Nationals kind of did that in 2019, man. Like when they had Scherzer, Corbin, and Strasburg, like, and that lineup, like they kind of had similar formula. They get the ball to you know, Doolittle and whoever, Daniel Hudson, and so it can be done. It can be done. Like the Nationals beat the Astros were a better team. Astros were a better team in 2019. This can be done. I'm just saying the Diamondbacks have found ways to win every single time. I agree with you that maybe most of it was more of the Dodgers losing it and the Phillies losing it, and even the Brewers losing it. I just can't bet against them right now. Maybe emotionally I'm saying that because, you know, that I keep betting against the Diamondbacks and they keep winning.
You got your Randy Johnston jersey. You're going to be wearing it.
I'll be right back.
On the Diamondbacks. Oh, no. Please don't get it out. You're wearing a Wade Boggs jersey today. Oh, my goodness. I just can't sit here anymore and deal with this. It's unbelievable.
It's a great jersey. It's a great jersey.
You continue to disappoint. You continue to disappoint. Oh, my God. Put it up again. Put it up again.
Here we are, bud. Here we are. Look at hold on. Wait. This is a great this is a great logo right here. Look at this. This is a great logo. I like that logo. It's a dope logo. But it's more about the player on the back of the jersey than it is the team. But I'm bringing this out to say I have the Arizona Diamondbacks in 7 games, bud. 7 games. I don't have this buttoned up, so I can't really get the front there.
You don't have to worry.
See it?
You don't have to worry about it.
I'll have this over.
I think I know what your moment's gonna probably be now. That's it.
My moment?
Is it? Yeah, your favorite moment. I know what it's gonna
be. You know what? We'll get to that in a second. Also, give me all right. So, we'll get to that in a moment. Give me your ALCS or not ALCS. Give me your World Series MVP.
Seager's gonna have a really big series. I think he just dominates this pitching staff and it's a couple home runs. I'll say he has. I want to go 3 home runs in this series. 3 home runs in the series. Bats over 350 in the 7 games. I think that's viable for Corey Seager. I think he's gonna win and he's gonna have a big hit in Game 7. That's what's gonna happen. Seager's my MVP, World Series MVP.
Where's your Rangers jersey?
I don't have one. I don't own one. I don't want to have one. This should have been a podcast where Hollywood would have been on this podcast as the Phillies won. It would have been a celebration. It would have been off the rails, and now I'm just depressed.
Wasn't to be.
So I feel forced to do this show because I went to Game 7. I had to witness that. I'm still trying to get over it. Still paying off the ticket.
Still paying off the ticket. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Jesus Christ. Yeah, my mom mentioned that. My mom actually mentioned that. She's like, yeah, I feel sorry for all the people that paid money to go to that game. I was like, yeah, me too. But yeah, so I'll give you my World Series MVP. That's a good one. I mean, Seager's won NLCS and World Series MVP, I think, in 2020. And he's nails in the playoffs. I'll go Corbin Carroll. You know, I think he has to have a big series for them to win. My runner-up was Gallen. That's also probably another decent choice, but I'm gonna go with Carroll. I think I think he has to have a big series for them offensively because they, to a certain extent, they were gonna have to keep up a little bit with the Rangers offense because you're not gonna be able to shut the Rangers offense all the way down. It's gonna be tough. So I'm gonna go Carroll. So yeah, let's get to our World Series moments. I want to know your favorite World Series moment. One moment. And maybe we can mention some others afterwards, but your favorite World Series moment of your lifetime. Now I know you're like 18 years old, so like it might go back to
like 3 years old. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So go ahead. Give me your World Series moment from like last year. That's all you remember.
I know. I'm gonna go non-Phillies. I'll stay away. Baseball hat on. 2016, dude. Game 7. The Cubs winning. I think that was pretty freaking cool to see that in my lifetime. I think that was cool after everything that happened. Steve Bartman, the curse, all this, blah blah blah, and it was a great game. It was a fantastic game. So I think the Cubs winning the World Series in 2016, I thought that was really cool, to be honest. Like seeing that just from a historical perspective and like how long it had been since they won, the curse, everything, just everything that revolved around that. Joe Buck on the call, great call. I just think for the Cubs to win, seeing Anthony Rizzo put the ball in his pocket, run around, I thought it was just cool. It was a historical moment in baseball history, and to see it live, I think that was awesome. That was awesome. Non-Phillies, I have plenty of Phillies I can go with, but non-Phillies, I'll go with 2016 Cubs winning it all.
Okay, good one, definitely a good one. One that comes to mind for me. I'm gonna go. This actually has to involve the Texas Rangers. I'm gonna go 2011. I'm gonna go David Freese, man. David Freese, incredible playoff. Ice in his veins. Game 6, 2011. Hit the Rangers were literally, I think, a strike away from winning the World Series, and David Freese was able to hit a 2 RBI triple to tie the game in the 9th inning. And then extra innings, Freese hits the walk-off home run. I thought that was, they would go on to win Game 7 against Texas, and I thought that's a pretty incredible one, David Freese. Any others that come to mind for you?
Well, Texas will be avenged with that this year, because they'll finally get their title this year, the World Series title. But yeah, I gotta go back to last year. What's cool that it's always like I always see like this short form clip, whether it's on like Instagram Reels, TikTok, or whatever. Dude, the video of Bryce Harper, first game at the bank in the World Series, Game 3 last year, coming up to the plate and just hitting a moonshot with the music playing, walking up. Dude, that production was just awesome. I don't know about you. I don't know if you've seen that video thousands of times. I watch it all the time. Stinks they didn't win the series, but my goodness, the music, him coming from the batter's circle over, on deck, and then going up first pitch, goodbye, like Joe Davis on the call, who I love, one of the best young broadcasters in the game. That one was a cool moment. And I'm surprised. I'm bringing this up. I can't believe with all your Diamondbacks fandom, you didn't bring up Luis Gonzalez. Really? That's your lifetime. That is your lifetime.
You didn't ask me what other ones I thought of.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised your first one wasn't Luis Gonzalez. It's freaking David Freese. I can't believe it wasn't Luis, because you're all Diamondbacked up today. Didn't even mention Luis Gonzalez as your moment. It's honestly sickening because you're such a Diamondbacks fan.
Right now, I'm a Diamondbacks fan. Yeah, it's all about the bets, bud. All about the bets.
Go ahead.
That's what I
go ahead. Go ahead. Did I steal it? Did I steal it from you?
I rep the players, but I'll say this again. I rep the players. I don't rep the teams.
I rep the players.
I rep the players, except for the Phillies. I rep the team there. Yeah, I actually don't think there's that's one of the best sports moments. No one, no one, you're in your backyard, right? What's the scenario you're thinking of? You're thinking of bases loaded, tie game in the 9th inning, a chance to win the World Series. Like Luis Gonzalez lived out every little kid's dream, that you're in the backyard with a wiffle ball bat playing wiffle ball. Like Luis Gonzalez lived out that dream, and he did it again against the best closer of all time, Mariano Rivera.
I know.
Incredible. And that honestly also that capped one of the best World Series of all time. Like that World Series, I go back and watch the documentary on their World Series all the time because it's there were so many incredible moments in that World Series, man. Byung-Hyun Kim, back-to-back games, gives up, tying and walk-off home runs to the Yankees. Scott Brocious, a couple of times he did it. That coming right after 9/11. I think you had George Bush throwing out the first pitch, I believe. I don't even remember exactly. But that whole World Series, honestly, is a moment for me. Like, that World Series is an incredible. You had Schilling, you had Randy Johnson, you had Luis Gonzalez, you had Craig Counsell, you had Tony Womack. Like, yeah, of course the Yankees. You had the Yankees. But like, just going back to the Luis Gonzalez thing, like, every kid, like, I get chills. Well, I know you're not gonna get chills because you're still in your feelings. Of course, I'm still in my feelings.
I do. It was a great moment. It was a great moment. Just not right this second. I'm not like loving it. Loving watching it.
You sure? You sure about that?
Seeing anything Diamondbacks related. It's just I just can't. Not right now. Just not right now. Not right now.
Right. Hold on. I got something for you. Oh, what? I just gotta get something real quick. I just want to show you something.
Yeah. What do you have to get? Are you pulling it up?
Can they hear that?
That's great. That's great. I can hear it. I can hear it.
Let's fast forward.
Is this?
Oh, here it is. There it is. Let's watch together.
Okay.
That's an incredible moment. You can't tell me it's not.
All right. Yeah, I understand. I got it.
For all our podcast listeners, you know what I'm doing.
I got it. Here, like, I got it. It's fine.
And the first comment, greatest World Series ever.
It's fine. It's cool. Great.
Is there a better World Series than that? Like, I'll say this. I'll say Cleveland and Chicago. Moment, definitely. And they were like, but that's the thing about their World Series. There were so many moments.
It was a good World Series. It was
an incredible World Series, dude. Like, as far as, like, comebacks and, like, big time moments and all that stuff. Yankee Stadium still being Yankee Stadium. The allure it had, which we thought CVP had. I still think it does. But, like, it does. But yeah, I think Cleveland, Chicago was awesome because it went the distance. And what was at stake, Cleveland hadn't won in gazillion years. Chicago hadn't won in 3 gazillion years. So, but the D-backs and Yankees was incredible. And what's crazy? The year after that, the Angels and the Giants, that was an incredible World Series too. That also won 7 games. The Giants were, I think, up by 4 maybe with like 3 innings to go, and the Angels came back and won. Barry Bonds had a chance to win his lone World Series, never did. Shows how much of a team game it truly is. I mean, Barry Bonds had an incredible World Series and they still didn't win. So I know I'm kind of rambling here, but yeah. So Luis Gonzalez, going back to Luis Gonzalez, definitely mine. Yeah, for sure.
I know it would be.
Now you know.
Because you're all Diamondbacked up. You're gonna root for him in the World Series. You're wearing your Randy Johnson.
Right.
Just walking down the street wearing your Diamondbacks jersey. I get it. It's fine.
Would you jump me if you saw me walking down the street with a D-backs jersey right now?
I wouldn't jump you, but I would say something. When I was walking into the stadium and I saw 2 Diamondbacks fans, like 2 of the 8 that were probably there. I had to say something to them,
What'd you say? I want to hear it.
All I said was, not tonight, fellas. That's all I said a couple times. Not tonight, fellas.
Yeah, say something better than that. Yeah. Not tonight, fellas.
Not tonight, fellas.
If I walk down your street right now, you didn't know me, you saw me wearing a Randy Johnson Diamondbacks jersey, what would you say to me?
I can't say anything right now. They just beat the Phillies. Well, what am I going to say?
Right, I'm just curious. Like, what could you say all this stuff to me now? Well, yeah, come on. What are you going to say?
I mean, maybe I just boo you. I maybe just boo you. That's probably what I do. Boo.
That's corny. That's corny.
I can't say anything. They just beat the Phillies. I can't say
I agree.
anything.
You got Zach Allen tweeting people like, "Oh, here's your Phillies spring training tickets." You can't even be mad at that.
Yeah.
Talk your ish.
Hey,
dude.
Bishop Eustace product.
What?
Yeah, I know. He's from Bishop Eustace. He's from around here. He's from the Philly area. Local kid.
Too. Yeah. Enough of the D-backs. I'm not happy, man. I'm sad still. I'm upset. I
see you smiling over there.
How? My mouth is behind the mic.
I can't believe we're putting this episode out. Diamondbacks lover over here.
I'm not. I'm wearing a Rays jersey right now, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. This episode can't go on YouTube.
The Phillies. I don't think this episode should ever be released. It's unbelievable.
For our own archives. It's gonna just tuck
it's an archived episode. I don't know. Tuck it away. Never see it again. Delete the file. Burn the computer. Burn the computer. Burn the computer. Burn the hard. Get a hammer to the hard drive. I don't know.
Right. All right. Well, this will be out later tonight. Nick Earnshaw. That's the truth. The shift will be back. We will be back after the Diamondbacks win in 7 games. I'm not a Diamondbacks fan. I'm just supporting my takes right now. I'm just supporting my takes, and that's why I got the Randy Johnson jersey out. Supporting my takes. That's all you gotta do. You gotta support the takes.
When can I hit end? When can I hit end?
You can do it now. I dare you. I dare you to end right now. I dare you. Go ahead.
Hit end. Hit end.
I dare you.
Do it. Oh, that's a show. That's a shift.